Hello, Internet, and welcome back to the Story Nook. Go ahead and grab your tea, your coffee, your water, your hot cocoa, your liquor, whatever it is you are wanting to drink today. And we are going to drive in to part 5 of the Piercing Patty saga. Because yesterday last video we read the first, we made it to like Piercing Patty part 1 and read 2.5, like 2.0. And now we're going to start with Piercing Patty 2.5, and the other videos before that were the very beginning of the saga. And this is the compilation of all these were put together by We Are Pungency, and the original OP, the original poster, is Mother and Paws. And we are reading from the best of Redditor updates, but it was originally posted in Just No Mother-in-Law. Piercing Patty almost gets arrested the second time. Some of you expressed how disappointing it is that I am back here again, and I agree. I truly thought Piercing Patty and I were on the mend, and that we were going to be one of the lucky ones that survived a Just No incident. I wanted to forgive her, but I needed time to heal. She, however, did not feel as if I was forgiving fast enough, and for the past 6 months or so, has been trying to needle herself back into our lives. It began with her asking once a month if she could visit, and then it became every week, and then it became an almost daily chore to tell her, no, you cannot stay with us, we aren't over what you did yet. Like a scab, if you keep peeking at me, I can never heal. So her presence in my home became my hill to die on. I never lied to protect her feelings, I never gave her the runaround, and every time she asked me directly if she could stay with us, I told her the truth. I do not trust you here anymore because of your actions. But still, she persisted. So after the hilarious gate incident, or so I call it Gate, I was stuck in an awkward position. You see, I still wanted to go see Cream in the hospital and make sure Amy had all the tools she needed to do her momming. But I definitely didn't want to interact with Piercing Patty. Alas, I went anyways because I loved Cream more than I hated Piercing Patty. Amy needed some rest after all the excitement died down, and so I told her to go back to the hotel, and I would take an evening shift with Cream. I bought Cream all her favorite junk foods and some fashion magazines. We were busy chatting about some boy she had been seeing and whether he likes her or likes her. Ah, to be young again. In waltzes Piercing Patty with the worst look on her face. It honestly chilled the room. I don't know how accurately to describe this face, but imagine if you spent all day at the salon dropping tons of money on your stylist and colorist, and then coming home with your husband saying, I liked it better before. Yeah, it would be that face. It was the kind of disdain only a woman could convey on her face. Hey, you know what? This isn't about me. We are both here for Cream, and I will just deflect to ease the tension. We can have World War III when we aren't caring for a broken-legged college student. Hello, Patricia. I don't know why, but it cracks me up to be so formal with her. Like, suck it. We ain't friends anymore. What are you doing here? Cream. We're just hanging out. What are you doing here, Piercing Patty? Where's Mom? Piercing Patty. Amy took a goober to the Target. She packed so quickly that she forgot a few things. Seriously, is this what we're calling ride shares now? If I wasn't so annoyed with her, I'd find it endearing. Right. My notifications keep going off. It's my Tumblr. It's totally my Tumblr. Just like here, cajillion notifications from Tumblr. So I've muted my phone notifications now. Cream. Oh, I'm gonna call her. Maybe she can pick up some personal items and some favorite for me. Cream gets distracted calling her mom, so Piercing Patty's full attention is on me now. Piercing Patty. I don't know what I did to make you treat me like this. Me. Seriously? Because it happened not that long ago. You broke into my office and compromised my client's privacy. That's what you did. Do you really not remember? I'm actually incredulous. Piercing Patty. Are you still mad about that? I said sorry. Me. Yeah, it's kind of a big deal, Patricia. And you can say sorry until you're blue in the face, but I'm not forgetting that it happened. You could have really messed things up for me and dear husband. Piercing Patty. Well, you can't keep me out of your life forever. I'm dear husband's mother. I have the right to be in his house. Me. He only owns half of that house, Patricia. Or Patricia. Which half do you want access to? The left half, or the right half? Ha! How many ways I could pronounce her name by emphasizing different syllables? It's a fun game I play. Piercing Patty. I would never speak to my mother-in-law that way. Me. You don't have a mother-in-law. So, like, the top half or the bottom half, we could quarter the home and you could just stay in 2 quarters at a time, or... Cream gets off the phone with her mom. Click. Piercing Patty. Cream, I came to bring you dinner. She hands over a bag of McDonald's. Cream. Oh, no thanks. I'm kind of full from the stuff Mother and Pa's brought. You can just leave it there. I'll have some later. I'm trying to do, like, my Cream the Rabbit impression. I'm not very good at it. I will get better, because, like, she's really, really high up there. One, I'm practicing voice acting, and I'm practicing my speech. Piercing Patty. Well, I can't do anything right, can I? Mother and Pa's gets to do everything, and I can't do anything. Cream gets the most bewildered look on her face. And take my sip, because this is going to be a lot of yelling in this next paragraph. I can see it now. Look at all them capital letters. Piercing Patty. Go ahead and ruin your body with that junk. She points to the pile of snacks I brought. I am a mother, and I know you need real food to get better. I got lost. This is what happens to my brain. It got distracted mid-sentence. Chill, lady. Chicken nuggets do not have medicinal properties. Also, the chicken nuggets from McDonald's might not even have chicken in it, from what I've heard in a couple of comedian jokes. Mother and Pa's is not even a real mother. She will never be a mother. She couldn't do what I did. Whoa. Wait, what? Okay, this thing just turned into another thing. At this point, Cream is tearing up a bit. I mean, she's being yelled at for not eating McDonald's, and she's scared. I feel bad because I know that Piercing Patty's anger is directed towards me, and so I get up and leave because I didn't want Cream to have to bear my burden. I'm gathering my things, and... Splash! If only it was the Magikarp splash, where nothing happened, but unfortunately it is not. Piercing Patty tossed a big gulp-sized cup full of McDonald's Coke at me. Okay, first the fuck of all, this person is I don't know how to pronounce this. Give me a second. Let me drink some water and I'll figure out my brain. Okay, this is a YVS. Y is the yes sound, B is V. So it's YVS. YVS? I'm gonna call it YVS. That could be not right. YVS St. Laurent. So you're basically dead to me for getting the leather wet. And second of all, you were being so loud a second ago that a nurse poked her head in, saw you assault me with your refreshing beverage, and called security. Go, nurse! Because you can't just be going around assaulting people and throwing things on them. We had some issues with that. I worked in an arcade. A guy threatened to throw his wings at me because, like, he didn't hear us calling his number. I get it. We were working at, like, the round one at Stonecrest. Bitch is loud. But, like, I clearly called your name. I called your number several times. And you didn't come and get your food. Because he expected us to just bring it to the bar where he was sitting at. Like, no. Most of us serving the food, like, I take your order, I don't remember what the fuck your face is, bring your receipt, have your order number on it. And he threatened to throw his food at me if it was cold. So I called security and told the person running the bar to not serve him no more, because fuck you, you don't get to act like this shit. You can take your shit and you can get the fuck out. Cream yells at Piercing Patty to stop. Security comes in, and Cream begs them to make her leave. I'm already on my way out because I need to mourn the collateral of war that is my expensive-ass handbag. And then it happens. She lunges at me. Not to hit me, but to get closer, to point in my face and yell some more. However, that is not how security interpreted the situation. And they arm barred her so hard she fell on her ass. Ha ha ha! That was sweet. That would have been so hard to laugh, because that would have been so fucking funny to me. But at the same time, like, a lot's happening. Pardon me. She gets told that if she does not leave immediately, they are calling the police. True to her new MO, she grabs on one of those mauve pink plastic cups that was on Cream's bed table thing and throws it at one of the security guards and then books it out of the hospital before they could arrest her. I honestly didn't think she was in any shape to run. But hey, I've been wrong before. It was impressively fast. Up next, the unforgivable thing that led to no contact. Which I'm going to sip some of my drink. Ah, my voice. Alright. I need to blow my nose. That's what's happening. Give me a second. Alright. I return. My nose is blown. I feel so much better now. We are now heading into Piercing Patty Part 3. Piercing Patty does the unforgivable thing. Okay. This is an edit that was added. And I will come back and read the edit. And so I'll come back at the end of this chapter and read that, because that's probably in response to all this stuff. You guys crack me up. Okay, in order of the most asked, although I would not say that it was in order of importance, I will answer the following. I had my bag cut, re-dyed, and re-sewn. The YSL survived, but it will never, ever be the same. Cream is doing fine. She is set to make a full recovery, although I think she is still very frightened to drive by herself. I think it gives her anxiety to do simple things like run to the store, the poor girl. Yeah. I had, like, a bad accident driving home from college, turning onto, like, I-20, and it was late at night, and it looked like I had space to, like, turn onto it, because I had to make a left turn onto it. And somebody was speeding and hit me. And I spun, and thankfully I was wearing my seatbelt, but the officer did tell me if, like, the car was over, like, a couple more inches, I would have gone off the bridge. So that was terrifying. But, like, I had, like, my leg and, like, my stomach and parts of my chest, like, they were scraped up and everything, and, like, I just remember coming to in my car and going, it smells like smoke, get out, and my body not listening to me, and I remember falling on the ground, getting out of the car. Like, I left, like, my phone, I left everything, I was just trying to get out of the car, so I know, like, I fell on my hands, my face, and my knees. So, like, my knee was very purple, like, it was purple and red for several days. And my brother-in-law saw it, was like, you need to go to a hospital. I'm like, I can't. I was in so much pain, I did wind up spending, like, $300 new patient fee for, like, my family's, doctor, who saw, like, my grandpa, my grandma. Saw Papa, Grandma Niji, he saw my dad. It was my aunt's doctor. And so, like, yeah. Bad car accidents will leave you scarred, because, like, I had panic attacks behind the wheel of a car. I'm still a very scaredy cat driver, which my husband nags me for to this day. He's actually taking me for walkies once I'm done recording this, so my pants will fit better. I'm very excited to show you all my Tails cosplay once it's done. Last we left off, that's a typo. I was driving my sticky self back home to dear husband. I got home, explained what happened, and then went into my closet, plucked my purses off their shelf one by one until I found the right one, dug into the unlined pocket, lit up one of my emergency cigarettes, and had a long, deep drag. I was so angry and so humiliated. Piercing Patty splashed a drink in my face. Like, did I get my own show on the E! Network? If so, when's the check coming? I've got bags to replace. Dear husband comes in and holds me for a bit. We talk, and I am still trying to understand why she is acting like this. It's very aggressive. It's very, very aggressive compared to her past behavior. She's usually just extremely annoying. The physical escalation has me very worried. I start to think maybe it's a brain tumor. I will later learn that her only diagnosis is that she is an asshat. Dear husband calls his mom and sets up a meeting. She tries to tell her side of the story, but it's honestly so absurd that nothing makes sense, and he ends up being even more confused after she tries to explain to him what happened. We absolutely cannot go on like this. As luck would have it, Amy, who is now furious at Piercing Patty for yelling at her infirm daughter, "Go Amy, kick her ass, you have a giant hammer, I believe in you," has kicked her out of the hotel room they shared, and now Piercing Patty has booked a flight back to Sovereign State because she has nowhere to stay. Don't look at me, bitch. You ain't staying in my house. The flight leaves tomorrow evening, so we plan to have lunch before we drop her off at the airport. Before I get to lunch, I want to share something with you guys. Dear husband and I are childless. Not necessarily child-free, but we like to travel, go to bars until late at night, and do exclusively adult things. It was a lifestyle that worked for us for a long time, but in the last year or so, I've been thinking that maybe we didn't need 2 guest rooms, and that one of them would make a nice nursery. You know, we weren't trying, but we weren't not trying either. If it happens, it happens. Well, nothing happened. Nothing happened for a long time. I got insecure and suspicious. Long story short, the doctor says it's me. It's fine, I don't do the sympathy thing. It makes me feel like I should be sadder than I am, and I'm not sad. Okay, that's a lie. I was sad for like a second, but to be honest, the not knowing was worse. Now I can plan on doing what I always wanted to do, fostering to adopt, no skin off my back, and I think that is beautiful. I am child-free by choice, so is my husband. That was actually one of the first questions I asked before I agreed to date him, was like, what are your opinions on kids? Mine is because of my racist sister and my vet tech sister. I have 14 nieces and nephews. Vet tech has 7, racist has 3. When I was like 11, up until like I was 17 or so, and even afterwards, they would just leave their children with me and then just abscond off and be gone for hours. They would be like, we're gonna go get milk. The store is like a 15-minute drive away, like a 10-minute drive away, if that. And they would be gone for 3 hours. And they would come back, there would be no milk. So, yeah. That was fun. And so I've known since like I was a young kid, because kids were thrust upon me without even caring about me. And so I just grew a disdain for children. I like them in small doses. I like to be able to give them back. I like being like the fun aunt for like an hour max, and then I'm like, okay, I need you out of my space. And luckily, like, my sister, who's 2 years older than me, the one who's been having a hard time, and she's in the process of looking for a place, and I hope she's fine one soon. She pays me $20 every time I have to watch her children. And I appreciate it. And then when her children come and like do housework for me, I pay her children $20 because I'm like, you're not gonna come to my house and do work for free. Unless of course you were in trouble and need a punishment. Then you're gonna come do work for free because now we have to be very asinine on how you're gonna fold the pants because my husband will complain. Now, back to lunch. Lord help us all. I have court in the morning, so I can't give you guys a verbatim transcript, but the gist is this. Piercing Patty has not saved for retirement, like, at all. You guys, she works a job that pays average, but would theoretically would have an amazing retirement plan. However, taking advantage of this retirement plan would require foresight. I guess she just planned to work until she was dead. But then dear husband put himself through school and got an amazing career and got himself a wife that works. And now we are just so rich that of course we would want to raise Piercing Patty as our own. The end. Just kidding. Not the end. So much not the end. All the not the ends. We haven't even started. This delusional breadcrumb thought that when we were ready to have kids, she would move in with us and take care of the baby. That was her retirement plan. So, now that we know we aren't going to have any biological kids, and that the fostering to adopt option may yield us adopting older kids that don't need a full-time full-time granny helping out, she lost her retirement plan. In her head, all along, I was going to beg her to come back into my home, because a newborn was going to be more than I could bear alone. She was just waiting me out. I was going to grovel. She was sure. I guess she really snapped when dear husband told her we weren't going to have kids. It kind of solidified that she may never be allowed back into the home. At least not via her retirement plan / nanny gig. And she became desperate to get into my house because she viewed it as the home where she would spend her twilight years. Like, bitch, I wouldn't even let you spend the duration of the twilight moving in my house. Get out of hell with that dumbass idea. Okay, side note. She's also in her early 50s and in reasonably good health. I mean, I just saw you run like Usain Bolt from 2 hospital security guards, so I don't think now is an appropriate retirement age for you. You got a few more tax-paying years left in you, Piercing Patty. I was kind of stunned at lunch, so I didn't say much. Dear husband was panicked because he knows it will fall on him to figure it out for her. But we both agreed that this was absolutely never ever going to happen. It's amazing how you've been with someone so long that you can convey this entire message in nothing but a glance. Dear husband told her flatly, Mom, you cannot live with us. We like our life as it is, and we don't think it's a good idea to be sharing our... And then, as if on cue, she started crying uncontrollably. Loud, heavy sobs. Lo, whatever, brother. Keep your crocodile tears away from my club sandwich. It's got 3 slices of bread, so this is a celebration sandwich. I'm not going to let you ruin my 3-slice day for me. And then she says the unforgivable thing. If your wife was a real woman, I wouldn't have to live on the streets of my old age. Okay, I'm gonna need a 4th slice of bread. You just turned my happy sandwich into a sad sandwich. Ouch! I am a real woman. Fuck you. That statement really hurt my feelings for some reason. Usually when she talks, I just let the words roll right past me, but this is an act of war. Piercing Patty, you can't just violate the Geneva Convention like that and expect no retaliation. Shrug. I keep eating my tiny triangles. Why do they always cut club sandwiches into tiny triangles? I was going to take a beat to address the horrific thing she just said to me. I don't respond to attacks until I know I can articulately stand up for myself. Words be hard sometimes, so we read them slowly. But the shock left me a little weak. So I'm thinking about how I'm going to respond because I can feel tears well up in my eyes, and I know the next time I blink, I'll be crying. All of a sudden, I am wearing my jacket, and now my arm is getting yanked, and now dear husband is throwing cash haphazardly onto the table. Ah, my tiny triangles! I wasn't done! And now I'm in the car. We never responded. I never even said anything to defend myself. He shut my passenger side door, and I cried harder than I remember crying in a long time. I knew we were done. I cried because I was relieved. I really thought he'd choose to help her because she was his mother. I thought I was going to have to help retire her one day if I wanted to stay with him. But she did the unforgivable thing, and now we are both off the hook. Yay? I don't know how she got to the airport, to be honest. Probably took a goober. I never thought about that before I started typing the story out, huh? When we got home, I told him no more. She's blocked on everything. I told the gate guards to call the police immediately if she shows up again. Don't even notify me. She needs to get her own phone plan. Any trips to Southern State will not be attended by me. All the money we were giving her is going to stop. He can send her whatever he wants from his discretionary budget, but I wasn't going to send her any of my wonky womb money. As you shouldn't. She insulted you, degraded you. She does not get any more of the benefits of you being in her life whatsoever. Goodbye, piercing Petty. I am a real woman, god damn it. I don't need to shoot a baby out of my vagina to know that. You can suck my dick, Patricia. No contact, full stop. I don't have any more updates for you guys. That was months ago, and her name isn't even whispered in my house. Your husband doesn't talk about her. Although I'm sure she's been begging him for more money. I don't think about her unless I am feeding llamas. And all we are concentrating on is getting approved to be foster parents. I hope my kid marries an attorney when he/she grows up, so I can relay the saga step by step from the other perspective. I've been tossing fountain drinks at dartboards for practice. Remember that I am not OP. That's the person who contemplated this. And we have the edit that is up at the beginning. We're going to read that. Edit, no sass. I am so touched by everyone who partook in the I am not a real woman because movement in the comments. It is such an amazing show of solidarity to me and those who struggle with infertility. I read every single comment. I had never thought of myself as not a real woman. Even when we got the news from my doctor, I just thought of it like a scar or a hair color. Awesome. It was just a characteristic of my body, and I couldn't change it, so I wasn't ashamed of it. When Piercing Patty said the unforgivable thing to me, it was the first time since the diagnosis that I felt so small. Like someone was informing me for the first time that this is, in fact, was something to be very embarrassed over, and I should lament for the rest of my life over the injustice. Well, I don't, and I'm not. I have thousands of friends on the internet, Piercing Patty, and they make me feel 10 foot tall. I don't fit into your tiny little boxy definition of what a woman is, and that is okay, because your approval would destroy me. And with that, we have finished the Piercing Patty saga, and welcome in Martin Brown to the live stream. Cool fact about Sonic Underground. Not recording the Sonic Underground podcast today. I don't even know if we've made it to episode 35. Next time I record the Sonic podcast with Stapler, I will try to remember to bring it up. But with this, we have finished the Piercing Patty saga. Thank you all so much for being here. Let me go ahead and thank the Patreon and Ko-fi supporters, since we are at the end of the saga. Remember, if you support me on Patreon, you get early access to artwork, the videos, the live streams that go private, like this one will be, and all that good jazz. You also have, if you're on the Story Nook channel, there is a form in the description to fill out to suggest whatever you want me to read. Other things I've been reading. I'm currently reading Pride and Prejudice, and I'm reading the British Sonic comic books called Sonic the Comic. I recently finished issue 5, which had the first ever introduction to Amy Rose. So yay, thank you. I hope you all enjoy that. So many thanks to Kaleidoscope Chick, Axel1154, Tweed T Cakes, Cassie G, Jadis DS, Axel Akaraz, Pizza Nene, Semi-Random Sevens, and Micah. On Ko-fi, my commissions are there. I do quick sketches. I have chibi commissions, mermaid commissions. I think my voice acting commissions should be on there. If they're not, someone remind me. I will get on that. And speaking of which, I have acrylic charms that I just ordered. I should have them physically in my hands some point in May, but I have ordered them. They will be coming to me. I will be turning them into earrings, and they will be on sale on my Ko-fi shop once I have them. I have my Hero Chow, which you would have seen in this little slideshow. It's the Hero Chow on the rubber ducky, and then I have the Dark Chow that's sweeping. So those two I have made. I'm excited to have them, turn them into earrings, and I'll be selling them with some of my Stabby Uterus earrings. Starting, I'm going to aim for July, because I have Sonic June happening. It's going to be a lot of stuff. But yeah, there's the Stabby Uterus. So remember to stay safe, stay healthy, all that good stuff. And remember to stay hydrated. So yeah, other ways you can support me, just put stuff on the background, all that good stuff. And if there's any of like my other illustrations people like, just let me know and I'll consider making them into acrylic charms.